I was sitting at a little coffee shop in the heart of downtown, scrolling through my phone, when I heard it, the kind of laughter that makes your stomach turn. At the corner table, a group of three well-dressed white people were leaning back in their chairs, chuckling loudly. The target of their amusement? A tall black woman in a simple apron, balancing a tray of steaming coffee mugs. One of the men smirked as she approached. "Hey, sweetheart," he said, drawing the word out like a challenge. "Be careful now, wouldn't want you to spill. You wouldn't want to mess up serving us." The others laughed. The woman, whose name tag read Angela, set the mugs down with steady hands. She didn't flinch, didn't raise her voice. She just smiled faintly and said, "Enjoy your coffee." But the moment she turned away, I saw it how her eyes softened with a hurt she didn't want them to see. That's when one of the women leaned toward the group and said, not even bothering to lower her voice, "I swear, I don't know how people can spend their whole lives serving others. Could never be me. Some folks are just born to it." They all laughed again. I clenched my fists under the table. What they didn't know, what I didn't know, until a few minutes later, was that Angela wasn't just a server here. She was the owner. Angela disappeared into the kitchen, and for a moment I thought maybe she was going to cry. But instead, she returned a few minutes later, carrying a clipboard and wearing a completely different expression, calm, confident, and in control. She walked straight to their table. "Hello," she said politely. "I just wanted to check in. Are you enjoying your drinks?" One of the men smirked. "Yeah, sweetheart, you're doing great." Angela's smile didn't budge. "Good to hear. Because as the owner of this cafe, I take customer satisfaction seriously." The table went silent. The woman who'd made the born-to-serve comment froze, her mouth hanging open just a little. "You own this place," she stammered. "Yes," Angela said, still calm. "In fact, I own this cafe, the bakery across the street, and 3 more locations around the city. I started it all from scratch, working 2 jobs, sleeping 4 hours a night, and saving every penny I could. So, yes, I serve coffee sometimes, because I believe in leading from the front." The man who'd called her sweetheart was suddenly very interested in his spoon. She leaned in just slightly, her voice still soft but carrying a weight that cut through the air. "You don't know someone's story just because you see them carrying a tray. You don't know their past. You don't know what they've built. But you do reveal something about yourself when you mock someone you think is beneath you." The woman shifted uncomfortably in her seat. We didn't mean anything by it." Angela straightened up. "Maybe not. But words matter. And here in my cafe, we treat everyone with respect. Staff, customers, strangers, it doesn't matter." For a moment, the only sound in the cafe was the hiss of the espresso machine. Finally, Angela smiled again, genuine this time, and said, "Enjoy your coffee, it's on the house." She turned and walked away, her head high, while the group sat there in awkward silence, staring at their untouched mugs. When she passed my table, I couldn't help but speak up. "That was incredible," I said. Angela chuckled. "People will underestimate you your whole life. The trick is to let them until it's time to show them who you really are." Later, as I left the cafe, I saw the group quietly slipping out the door, no longer loud or smug. They didn't look at Angela, and she didn't look at them. But I knew they'd remember her, and so would I. Because sometimes the most powerful clapback isn't raising your voice, it's owning the whole building they think you work in.